What is going on, guys? Bingo here. I'm with the Duel Factory for another episode of X2 Drop. We're back this week. Unfortunately, last week I could not record because I was in California, but we're back this week. We got a pretty fun topic, as anybody on YouTube can see with the lovely distorted image of Box of Friends I have on my left. It's going to be a pretty lighthearted episode talking about, friends encouraging I don't want to say degeneracy, but steering them away from meta, playing rogue, playing fun strategies, and why that's a good thing to help keep you engaged in the game. But before I start, I do want to shout out the Discord as well as ways to communicate with us, because I've been getting significantly more messages on topics from people. So there should be a link if you're listening to this on like Apple, Spotify, whatever. Should be a link to the Discord in the description, as well as just message us on Twitter and YouTube, and you can reach us there if you got a topic you want to hear us talk about, or if you ever just want to post memes about Sauceless French or the Duel Factory himself. The Discord's a good place to do that. So with that out of the way, Joe, you got any intro garbage you want to get out there?
Upper echelons of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, shut the fuck up. All right, so what we're going to be talking about today is friends encouraging other friends to play jank or rogue or off meta or whatever you want to sugarcoat it with, and how that helps you stay excited about the game. So this was a pretty off-the-wall topic we weren't really planning on discussing, but it kind of came up when we were talking about like stale metas and going to locals and regionals and like what people look for. Like nobody's excited to see the 100th version of the same top meta deck that topped a regional before COVID, right? It was always like, oh, that one dude that topped with S-Knights or Burning Abyss, right? Like something like people get excited about, the underdog.
We were always looking for the one-hit wonder of the event.
Yeah,
always.
That's always the case. And if you're feeling burnt out about the game, if you're too focused on top-tier play, you can definitely improve your gameplay by focusing on, something a little more lighthearted. So me and the Duel Factory last night actually sat down and built Phantom Knights for some apparent reason. It was just the jank that we decided on, and it was a lot of fun. But Joe, in your opinion, why can doing something like this for you or your friends be invigorating for the player base?
So, especially jank, rogue, whatever you want to call it, I think it's really good to encourage deck building outside of meta norms. One, it keeps the game fresh, like you were saying when you were introducing the topic. Two, it also it does help with your competitive play when you play something off the wall every once in a while, because it expands your I don't want to say vocabulary, but it expands your horizon and library of cards that you actually know what they do. And then playing, you can unintentionally you could play rogue decks, and you can find actually really cool decks that actually work at meta strategies that you could use at other events and stuff like that. I've noticed that, especially because I'm a big advocate of playing rogue. I like playing stuff that's not meta all the time. It used to be, actually, whenever I went to events, I used to only play rogue for the first couple years when I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And then my buddy Kyle and Bobby are the ones who started convincing me to start playing meta decks, and that's when I actually started shifting towards more combo and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing, other than, like I said, it just keeps you generally interested in the game. It keeps your mind fresh and stuff like that. So that's why I think encouraging your buddies, testing group, whatever, every once in a while, just play something for fun. It doesn't have to be the best,
Yeah, and just because it's not the best doesn't mean you can't focus on it, trying to make it play the best. I think that's where I get the most enjoyment out of lower tier decks, is trying to theory craft them to the point where I feel they're confident or competent enough to take on the meta decks at least the local level, because I don't know, there's something rewarding. It's like figuring out a build of a rogue deck that can stand up to at least a couple round tournament, because these decks obviously aren't the best. But the top meta decks, like, they're almost as good as they're going to get. You know, somebody's going to find a tech at some point that's going to counterbalance the other meta decks of the format or beat the mirror match. But putting time and effort into just any fucking deck, like Phantom Knights, like we did last night, there's so much more discussion that can be had. Like, thinking back to, I don't know, you're on Thunder Dragon, going back to the Thunder Dragon format before, like, the Brilliant Fusion Engine. Like, the deck was pretty set in stone, you know, based on the card pool and everything. And then it was like, do I play 3 of this card, 2 of this card? Like, it was a very minor discussion, but, like, you can throw some off the wall shit at rogue decks and just, like, see if it works. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think one of my favorite part, especially like when you like you steer people into like doing like road, like me and you like building Phantom Knight decks last night and stuff like that. You come to the realization, like, when you're building them, that like, because like rogue decks generally have like such a small like engine that has to be facilitated in the deck to be able to play. Like, your decks can just play like all the broken cards, like all the broken ones. Like, think about right now, like spoilers on the list that we're about to reveal at some point, but right now, we're like playing Droplets in our deck, which again is a broken card Yu-Gi-Oh! If we wanted to, we could cut Cosmic Cyclones and play Talents. Like, that's a broken card Yu-Gi-Oh! And then if you go on and forth, you get to place like some really, really cool, like other cool cards and stuff like that. Like, let me pull up what we have built here real quick just to give an example. Because what is it? We're playing Tour Guide, card that's recently went back to 3 that we haven't seen in God knows how long. Love that card. So does John. He kind of simps for a guy, but we're not going to talk about that.
I only have 1 ulti, all right? It can't be that bad.
I only have 1 ulti, and I have 3. Weird. We gotta play we gotta play these cool cards like Torn Scales, which I haven't seen a lot of meta play, but like, it's a really broken Phantom Knight card, right?
Yeah.
And then you gotta play like other cool techs like Kagamucha Knight, which people forget about because it's a level 3 Dark Warrior, and like this card just kind of like got overseen when the Phantom Knights originally released, but now it's like really good because hand traps are super prevalent. But like I said, you just gonna play like a lot of cool cards, and like I just have to like emphasize like expanding your horizon because you just get to see more cards. You know what I mean?
Like, some of the stuff that I liked with our build last night, just through discussion, you know, we're actually playing 2 rank 4s with the only rank 4 in the deck being Shea Brigandine, right? And that's because there's a lot of combo strings if you open decent, like just either Scales or Tour Guide, that let you end on a rank 4 because of popping a Break Sword, right? And like,
there's a perfect example right there. We're learning interactions because we've played something other than the meta defined.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, there is a point where pushing your opponents to play something other than meta, or like, as we were talking about, pushing to degenerate can be kind of bad. I remember, and then this is going to be a kind of a story time, I guess, but during Zoo format, I remember, and shout out to Jonathan Skinner for this one, because this actually makes a hilarious story. But he was sitting there, and I remember he was getting ready to go to an event. I couldn't go. I don't remember why I couldn't go, or maybe I was there. I can't remember. But he was playing Metal Foe Zoo because he really liked the Metal Foe cards, so we sat down and we helped him make a list, right? And he was sitting there, and he kept playing Fusion Sub in his deck, and I'm like, all right, now I'm just going to start trolling with him. So then I'm like, well, why are you playing Fusion Sub in your deck? And he kind of looked at me. He's like, because those card's broken. Why? I'm like, do you want to lose the Retaliating Sea? And I went into this argument for like 30, 45 minutes of why he shouldn't play it, because he's just opening himself up to lose to Retaliating Sea. And his deck's already explosive enough because it's playing the Metal Foe cards, so he can pendulum something other decks can't do. And I just went on and on and on and on and on. And then he's like, fine, I'm going to cut it out of the deck. And he took it out of his list and he submitted it. And then my buddy Aldo looks at me. He's like, did you just tell him not to play the best card in his deck? And I just looked at Aldo. I'm like, shh, just let it go. Yeah, I just thought I was being funny.
Yeah, that. I mean, that's you just being a troll, but all right.
Here's the best part of the story. So Skinner, out of nowhere, we're 8 rounds past, and this man is currently 7-1 playing Fusion Subless Zoo. Okay. And then we were just sitting here like, holy shit, he's about to top 8 a regional. And I don't know why, but we never let this go with him. This man, all he had to do was summon a zoo monster, and he wins the game, right? He draws her turn and has Ram Ram. Oh, yeah, I'm like, oh, he wins the game. He just topped a regional. What's he do? He sets it and passes.
But like you have your extra whatever. Okay. Yeah, that and what we're talking about, we're not talking about just ignore the meta. You know, like during zoo format, the zoo engine was just too prominent to ignore, right? Like everything played zoo. You got your Infernoid zoo, your Metal Foe zoo, fucking Invoked zoo for like the first little bit.
Hey, don't knock Invoke zoo. That deck was lit.
It was really cool, but you couldn't ignore those cards. So like if you're your buddy like, hey, don't play the zoo engine, like your deck doesn't need it, like you're probably wrong. Just like right now, like cards like droplets and just pretty much anything, any meta relevant staples, I guess. Like don't ignore those cards just because they're good cards. But if you're burnt out on the meta or just want a different perspective, like and trying to have fun, like build something else. Like that's my favorite thing to do. Like after this, I don't know what I'm going to sit down and build, but I got a couple of decks pulled up.
He's lying to you. He's going to sit there and he's going to build Thunder Dragon with me because he's such an advocate.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally just going to bring that up. Like you've been playing this entire time through COVID, right? You pretty much haven't stopped playing.
Oh, yeah.
And you've played all the lists. You played Infernoble. You played Eldritch at some point. You know Virtual World and Drytron. Not your favorite decks. But right now you're every freaking night you're playing Thunder, or you're trying to play Thunder Dragon.
Yes.
For what reason? Explain to the fantastic podcast audience why you want to build Thunder.
Well, you know, I was sitting there last night in deep sleep, and then a vision came to me from the God of Thunder himself, Andres Torres, and he told me to play Thunder, so I did, and I just played Thunder. But not, I don't know, man. The meta set, like, Virtual World Drytron are the best decks, but like this meta's starting to get like stale to me. So I just wanted to play something different, right? And I'm like, all right, we can play Thunder Dragon. It's not like the most competitive at the moment, but the deck can do like I was remembering what cards I had like access to, and it just has like really cool 2-card combos. Like if you just open like Hawk and Solar, like it ends on like an IP Masquerena, Verde Anaconda, and it ends on what's it called? The Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and like there's like cool little niche things you can do with it, and it's something off meta that can actually like push, and then like it also like forces you to like actually like manage your cards and work on little interactions. But it's just I just wanted something fresh, something different to play than what I've been playing currently. Plus, I just really miss Colossus. And I was sitting there thinking as I was like making these plays, like, man, if I was going against Drytron and I had one Colossus right now, like they just can't beat me.
Yeah,
like they can't do it.
I think doing something like this really does help you develop deck building as a player. Because when you were building Thunder, you're like, I could play the combo Thunder variant, but that's like, why would I play this deck if I'm going to play something that is just trying to do what another deck does but worse? And then you recognize like the strength of Thunder Dragon, which is a repetitive engine that just puts big monsters on the field. Titan's a kind of a pain in the ass card. You can
yes, I wrote for something big monster.
Yeah, you can utilize the Red Eyes or the Anaconda engine pretty well. And if you get past, I think we figured out, if you get past like turn 2, your chance of winning just went up dramatically.
Oh yeah, it's skyrocketed.
Yeah, because you just outgrind your opponent. Your cards do the same fucking thing every single turn, and Dark Roar and Hawk are just they're hella good cards.
Oh yeah, one Thunder Dragon fusion and you're rolling the entire game.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat says playing Archfiend BA is helping me learn Burning Abyss. Like I had no idea how to play Burning Abyss until I just got sick and tired of the fucking metagame. I bought all the Burning Abyss cards. Shout out to Doug. I think I got half of them from him. I traded him Infernoid Core for it. And then I just started playing Burning Abyss. I don't even remember what format it was, to
You
be
summon
honest.
2 level 3 and you make Dante and then you mill.
No, it was after Cherubini. You make Cherubini first.
No, you make Dante.
No.
Dante is Rev. Dante is Raph.
You can't make Cherubini with Dante. Anyways.
Okay, yeah, you're right. My bad.
But then you can get sucked way too far down the rabbit hole, right? Playing. Yeah.
I think a perfect example we have is this when I was trying to build Time Thief Zoo, and then John's like, nah, we're playing Combo Zoo. I'm like, how the fuck do you play Combo Zoo?
Yes.
And then he just posts this convoluted play strat. Where it's like, what the hell is this?
Oh my god. It was like. It was Zoo, but it had like the Raid Raptor, Infinite Negate combo in there. I don't even remember what else it had, but you
I'm
summoned.
like, we were being good friends, but we're like,
You-
John, this has gotta stop. And he just wouldn't listen.
You summoned 3 trolling trolls off of Summon Sork. I remember
Wait,
that.
wait. Okay, I don't remember this.
Oh,
were
you don't remember that? It's
Three
a level 3 beast tuner or beast warrior tuner, and then you
I'm
make.
sorry, I have to announce that we're ending the podcast this week. So, sorry, guys. John's not in the best mental state. I didn't even notice this. I promise we'll come back strong sometime eventually. Yeah, thanks for watching.
And then you make Ancient Fairy Dragon. It's pretty good.
Oh, we still had Ancient Fairy. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, it was a wild deck list. But honestly, the reason I did that was because I wasn't very familiar with the combo play strings. One for the Infinite Negate combo, because that was like right as it came out, and nobody knew how good it was or if it was going to be a brick. So I wanted to learn that, as well as learn all the cards that were associated with that combo. So what's the best way to learn them? Just fucking throw them in a deck and play with it.
Yeah, but you were playing the kitchen sink at that point.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Yeah, but the thing is, I never once went into a match with that deck. I never once did anything with it. It was just, I'm going to sit in a solo room and do this combo till I figure out like what I'm trying to accomplish, like with the actual zoo cards, and then take out all the shit.
I'm so happy this deck never saw the light of day.
So, what about your Crystal Beast phase there, Joe? Are we gonna bring that up?
That was a fantastic. Okay, so quick story time. I've always wanted a max rarity Crystal Beast core, and I finally got my hands on it. I'm like, I wonder what these cards can do. And then it actually got to the point where I told Ray, if I actually go to a locals and play Crystal Beast, I want you to make me swallow my teeth. And, I'm still waiting for him to make me swallow my teeth because I took it. But I'm like, this deck could do some cool stuff. I just don't know what. So we threw the Infinite Negate combo in it, right? And we went to a locals, and me and Aaron were playing Jank that night. So I was playing Infinite Negate combo Crystal Beast, and he was playing Weather Panner Eldless. TLDR, I got smacked up by Weather Panner cards, and it wasn't fun.
Yeah,
But my cards looked gorgeous.
If you're talking about like one of our kings of deck building, Aaron has to be up there. He is always putting 2 to 3 decks that I'm just like never even crossed my mind to mix, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing them."
Oh, yeah, he is the king of we have no idea what the fuck you're doing, so we're just gonna let you play.
Yeah, I don't know what those cards do, so please just let me know if you're gonna do something like good.
I can tell you right now, I guarantee you everyone in our cube is literally the most well-versed players in Tenyi cards ever.
Yeah. Oh my God. Aaron was on such a Tenyi kick for a while, but what that did is I'm like, Tenyi cards are super cool. Like Verschuta's awesome. The Link 3 was super awesome. And I'm like, I want to play with these cards. Now, I didn't play them for very long, but it helped me realize that, there was a strong engine piece in there. And that was like before Verschuta was played in Orcus, like commonly. So helped me learn that card.
I'm pretty sure if I think about it, Avery from Die Hard Games still has PTSD every time Aaron activates a 10E card, period. And that's kind of funny to watch. Shout out to Avery. I know how much you love Tenny, bro.
So, one thing to keep in mind is if you're lucky enough to have a locals, like, don't be just like an elitist. I remember I was sitting at a table and somebody was building. I think somebody was building S Knights, and somebody's like, "How can I what can I play with this to make it better?" And we all know, because everybody's an expert in Satellar Knights like me, right? That they don't mix very well with other things. But he was talking to like one of the best players at the locals. And he's like, what can I do to make this deck better? And he's just like, play a different deck. And like,
yes.
I mean, this dude's a relatively new player. He's just having fun with the game. Like, don't be a fucking cockbag, okay? Like, say, in my opinion, like, this deck is a standalone deck. You can't really mix it with anything, and here's why. But if I was going to, here's how I would approach it. And I know we're not all 30-year-old fucking salesmen that talk like that, but...
What are you trying to say?
Well, you and me are both 30-year-old salesmen.
But I'm not 30. I'm 27.
Yeah, I'm 28. But anyways, don't be a fucking douche. Like, help facilitate thought process going into deck building, right? It's not that hard to put your elitist mentality behind you and just have a conversation about building Satellar Knights, despite whether or not you think that's above or below you. Just help grow the community.
Why do I want to play? I want to play like good decks.
No, you don't. You want to play what you think is a good deck, which we all know is not true.
But
Joe,
Thunder Dragon's the future.
Joe, this has been 2 years of podcasts, and I just want you to know it's all been a ruse to get you an intervention. Doug, can you please enter the chat? We need to talk to you about playing Thunder.
Wait, what? But Doug has no sauce. Why don't I want to talk to anyone who doesn't have any sauce?
Because, Joe, you're addicted to playing Thunder.
I've been playing it for 3 days. If anyone's addicted to playing anything, it's you addicted to playing Sky Striker well after the fact. We don't ever break it up because we're friends, John.
Have I built Sky Striker since I've been back? No.
Don't lie to me. I know you have.
No, I have not. I've thought about
it. See, right there. That's the first step, is admitting the problem.
All right, where do we go? We got like 8 minutes left, dude. What do you want to talk about?
Do we have 8 minutes? I don't know. You want to talk about life? You want to talk about more Yu-Gi-Oh? Do you want to talk about how... we can have another story time about talking about, since we should steer away from degeneracy. So I can make a great manual what not to do when encouraging players. So I'm going to pull the veil over my buddies from Decatur. But me and my buddy Aldo were talking one day, and Aldo told me about this innate ability I have to be able to make anyone in my friend group play whatever card I think they should be playing right now. And he's like, there's no way, bro. And he's like, absolutely, whatever you say, they reveres the word of God. I'm like, all right, if that's true, then I'm gonna convince everyone at our Invocals, because for some reason we had 6 Invoked players.
Oh my god!
That playing Honest is the best fucking card that we could possibly play as a light target in our deck. So what did Joe do? I took it of Artifact Invoke deck, and I teched in 3 copies of Honest. And then I went over and I kept talking about how great it is because it's a light monster that you can use for Mechaba, and then you can use it to protect your Mechaba because most of the ways you got rid of it was in battle phase. Yada, yada, yada. I just went on like a tangent for like 30 minutes. And Lord and behold, that following Sunday, Skinner, Fred, and Bradshaw were all playing 3 copies of Honest in their Invoke strategies. And I called Aldo immediately. I'm like, holy shit, bro, you were right.
Yeah, being the best player at your locals holds power, Joe. You gotta use that power wisely.
So one, no, you shouldn't, because that was fucking hilarious. But 2, just because you have it, don't use it. I mean, like, bro, we want everyone to get better at the game. My ideal Yu-Gi-Oh world is everyone is just fantastic at the game, and just like Goki format, the last 2 weeks of it, we just all agreed to take a timeout and not play Goki at events. And that was the most
yes,
that was the most touching Yu-Gi-Oh moment I ever had. We went to a regional, and I think maybe there were 6 total Goki players in that room, which there's a special place in hell for those 6 Goki players, don't get me wrong. But everyone just agreed that we're going to take a giant timeout from Goki. And what did we see? There was a sea of Thunder, a sea of Geist,
in a sea of striker, and there was no Goki at the top 8 table, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I honestly never want to live through another Goki format ever again.
Goki format was dope. Goki format was dope. Now, was it disrespectful as fuck to go to a locals and play full power Goki, especially when your locals is not that competitive? Absolutely.
How many times did you do that?
6. And
Okay.
I felt great all 6 times.
All right, on a personal level, do you think playing right after Zoo came out, like 2 weeks after I came out, do you feel like playing full power Zoo at locals is this on the same level of douchebag as playing full power Goki at locals?
I think it's worse. Mainly because the Zoo Fort deck was way more expensive than the Goki deck.
Yeah,
The
but
Goki-
we're not talking about price range. We're talking about like
No. That 100% factors into this. Because, bro, there was like 1 to 2 players at my locals that I could afford Zoo. Everyone else is just playing what they had at the time.
yeah, but
And
it doesn't matter because the Zoo deck, its turns are short. You know, this is pre-Fusion Sub before the Riris picked it up and couldn't figure out how to do Fusion Sub combo. Goki format says you can't play, and I'm going to waste 15 minutes because I'm a idiot Goki player and I don't know how to do these combos.
No. The benefit of Goki was the fact that they were all like super. It was easily accessible, and a lot of the cards a lot of people already had. So that's why I don't think Goki format was nearly as to bring the locals was not nearly as bad as Zoo format. Because chances are you're probably playing across the table. You're probably playing against someone else who also has Goki.
Yeah, I get that. But
Now, what made Goki kind of funny is when people oh, we can decide draw on Lockbird, and that way we can beat the Goki players. Now, the good Goki players knew that was hilarious, but they
Yeah.
were going to let you draw on Lockbird anyway.
Oh my god, yeah, playing through somebody playing through a guy who doesn't really know how to combo outside of the bread and butter one combo is hilarious because you stop him at any point, or you play against the Bathinator.
The Bathinator.
Yeah.
Honestly, for a while there during Goki format, I judged if you were a good player or not simply based off the fact that you could play through Droll and Lockbird in Goki format.
Yo, that man is the only one that I have ever seen open Solar White Dragon 3 times in a row when White Dragon's at 1 and end on like a Colossus.
That's it.
Like,
Well, I guess that's not too far out of the realm of possibility because I did watch this man open Chaos Space in Dragon Link the other day and only make a Borreload Savage Dragon. And I had no hand traps.
Like he had the straight gas. But my favorite thing to do is when he's wombo comboing, right? And then like you just reach over, you can't do that effect. And it just like shuts his brain off.
Heck, you walked over. It's like you entered the depths of his mind, and it's just this clear white room. There's a table in the center, and it's just him playing. And literally, all you did was just flip the switch and close the door.
Yeah.
That's all you did.
Yeah, you telling me he can't do that in his brain? You just hear like he can't think at all.
It's just quiet. You don't even hear the card shuffling in his hand because everything just stopped.
It's an existential crisis. Like, what am I doing?
Oh, you weren't around. Oh, you should have seen it during DDD format. Well, I say DDD format. It lasted all of 2 weeks. But I remember watching him open like the same 4-card hand I did, and I'm just like, what are you doing? He's like, but this is the best DDD combo. I'm like, bro, you can do so much more. And like, I tried showing him, and he just didn't want to hear it. I tried crafting a young Durist.
Yeah, but DDD is a deck that I just don't want to learn ever.
You gotta have a cosmic brain for that. And I
Yeah.
love it.
But all right, we got about a minute left. Joe, you got anything you want to add?
Start playing Rogue. It makes Yu-Gi-Oh more fun. Tired of playing Drytron and Virtual Word. I'm tired of playing through either Vanity's Rule or Herald of Ultimatus, which hopefully people start dropping the Vanity's Rule and realize there's a better way to play that deck. And I'm tired of playing through double Calamity's Trap card. That just sucks.
Yeah, we
I
got.
want to go back to the days where I had to play through a Rush Rhino backed by Skill Drain. Those were fun.
Yeah, we got 5-6 weeks left of this format, so let's try to enjoy it for a little bit instead of just playing the same shit.
Also, for those of you who are wondering, and on the update on Douglas French, he still has no sauce.
Piccolo, you have no sauce. No. Hey.
All right, guys. So if you have enjoyed, please remember to check us out every week, same time, same place, 8 a.m., iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. Again, if you want to give your ideas, thoughts, or just join a community of like-minded people, please join the Discord. Links in the description. I finally set it up after about a year. It's coming along nicely, so please check it out. And with that being said, I'll see you guys back here next week. Peace out.